happy fall. That is my arm. This is my arm. So how morbid are kids at this time of the year? Well, my friend Tani has Orion, Savannah, and Roxy, and the majority of my friends did have kids pretty young, like Michelle Rodriguez. She had a daughter already soon after high school, but I met her in like 5th or 4th grade, and by 6th grade, she was at Incubus concerts and like summoning spirits over to go inside, you know, kind of a thing. And here we were like in elementary school. She was Egyptian and Mexican and Puerto Rican. And I remember like she liked Incubus and we're all black, and her mom would wear black also. And she was a witch, and she bought her a bunch of skeleton jewelry, and she wanted me to get more dark around that time. We went to Paradise Hills Elementary at the time. At the time I went to SCPA, I met like a bunch of Irish dancers. I did a bunch of dance stuff. And there was Adriana and her boyfriend who was black, and they were Wiccan, and there was Hecate already was known to me already. I know who Hecate was. It's the Greek goddess of necromancy, and in ancient Greece and Rome, they used to play around with that. Was the entertainment in ancient days in necromancy. There's different islands like Rhodes and Athens, Greece, and there's many different amazing islands. Apostle Paul would preach there, and he was imprisoned with Silas. Silas is a pagan name. His name's from the woods. It's a Roman god. But yeah, I would name certain friends who are like weaker ones or followers, pet names like Adriana, I called Monkey. I remember it was a nickname way back when I was like in junior high, and she got Alexis into a cult. She lived up the street from me, and some people had leadership skills, some do not. Michelle had more of a leadership skill because she was more stronger already at a like young age, and it starts from youth, usually really young as elementary, and then it builds up like, and it depends which kind of a family member is down the road, I think, because of her mom. But yeah, I had a dream about Frida Kahlo. Frida was morbid and gross. She had gold teeth with a gold grill with diamonds, and her teeth rotted out from lime. And I remember I had a dream she was practicing voodoo, cursing Diego Rivera, the artist she was married to, and had a lot of affairs with women and old men, artists. Josephine Baker, the topless dancer, was real sick. Yeah, sick. Frida was really like gross. Voodoo was from Egypt originally, and then Africa, and she had a bunch of Aztec idols in the Blue House over in Mexico, and she just really morbid and dark. All her art was basically all of the things she went through with her polio and with her accident, and she couldn't have kids, so she was obsessed with animals like monkeys, and was attached to females as her, I was like a substitute of romance because Diego was an infidelator, was real alcoholic, just smelled gross. I stick to what I know with like medical work. And I know that she had her prosthetic leg, and it was wood, her legs rotted, her leg rotted out, and her teeth rotted, and she was rotting away. When she died, she didn't really even care that she died. She had a really sad life. She was real lonely. But yeah, a lot of my old friends did marry pretty young and fast, straight out of high school. I even went to a baby shower out in like the Sequan territory, out in Sequan Casino, where call themselves Res Rats, their reservation guy. Summer Rain Eagle Feather was her name. Yes, very Native American, Apache, not Apache. Kumeyaay, that's right, the native of San Diego, Kumeyaay. I've dated an Apache though. I've dated an Apache Native American guy. He was a wrestler. When I was younger, I liked wrestling, but I didn't have the body for it. I'm only 5'2". A lot of Italians are really petite and short. My mom was with an Italian guy in the Bronx, and a lot of them are petite, like Danzig. He's only 5'2". Glenn Danzig is only like 5'2". He's around my height. And it's what makes up for it is him being beefy and meaty and bodybuilding, and it's all ego. It's all in the head though. He's not like, come on now, but he is the kind of guy that will carve his name in your uterus, sort of a thing, real morbid. There was a, like, this neighbor guy, I remember he told his younger brother to stick his hand in my shirt, and he did it, the younger brother, and to fondle me when I was like only in elementary. And like in my 20s, there's this guy I was dating for a while. He got a girl pregnant right after we broke up, and he said he wanted to carve his name in my uterus. The thing about the Italian community, a lot of them grew up Catholic, like Mexicans, and they're the most morbid and the most dark. They're like really, really dark. Like my mom used to go out in the Bronx and play around with Ouija boards with him, and then she moved away randomly to San Diego to follow her brother because he was in the Navy, and broke up with him, and that was it. And met my dad at a Catholic church, which Catholic churches tend to be mixed with paganism, because I remember my dad saying that he had asked advice from the priest if they should live together, and the priest said as long as you love each other, you could live together. And my dad knew it was wrong, so they lived together for a short while in Pacific Beach because they just so happened he lived upstairs from my mom, and they went to it was Our Lady of Refuge church out in like Pacific Beach. And a lot of people used to go out and drink wine and party at the Catholic church, and they would have potlucks. They met at a potluck, and soon after they moved in together. And then she was pregnant with Lori in October, and then they married. But she already was pregnant with Lori on their wedding day, and she wore an orange dress. And we're in October now, so their anniversary is coming up. But like the witches don't choose their fate. They just are. They just, with Frida, she's always was morbid and dark. Even the time she was young, even before her health problems. I think a lot of them are born into it, and it's like a curse. I met a bunch of, like, it seems like every guy I got to know in my youth, they just so happened to be, and I wasn't like I was like sodding out, because most girls don't pursue men. It's not really smart to pursue a guy, because then they start feeling like, why are you wandering after me, kind of a thing, because it's not traditional. So usually guys want to pursue the girl. And this is the thing about homosexuality that's confusing, or bisexuality. It's like, how does a woman pursue a woman? Well, it has to be the one that, whoever that's more dominant, and whoever who has the male hormones the most, who is the male in the relationship, who is just impersonating the male, which that's a cult also. But by the time you reach high school, your hormones rage and you're all boy crazy and you're just naturally evil. It's just to walk by faith, not by sights. And it doesn't matter how you look. I mean, Michelle always tried to get me more dark. Well, I already was dark. I didn't need to look more dark just to prove some point there. And we're all going to get judged for whatever. If I got even more darker, it would get even downward spiral and get even more worse than I already was. Like, have a kid with one of those guys? No, there would be probably a lot of disputes over child custody and constant fighting about financial issues and having to support the kid until they grow into an adult. Like my first boyfriend, Johnny, we're dark. That would be strange if I had a kid with him, but he's married and moved on. But like, it would be draining, and it would be a mistake if I even became more dark than I already was and made the same mistakes that a lot of my friends made from childhood to adulthood. Like when I made friends with Priscilla, when I started doing Irish dancing and SEPA, all kinds of dancing, not just Irish dancing, creating her own dance, theater dance and all that, jazz, whatever. She would wear all pink and was like a social recluse. She was popular, but she got over it and didn't really care about really like working at being social. So she started just hanging around with whoever she wanted that were kind of like losers like me or awkward and different. And she wore pink, and like the Playboy symbol was her favorite, or the bunny symbol, which that's a pagan symbol also. That's dark. Playboy symbol's not innocent, but she was just more like me, where she wore like purple eyeshadow and more pink, and she's Mexican, and just typical worldly girl at SEPA. We used to eat lunch together like Johnny Depp and Orlando Bloom, and that's just how we were, That's just how teens grow into, and you're not really like, it just happens. You're not planned out like by somebody else. They didn't really recruit you. Usually, in the way I look at it, it's just simply is, and you're going to feel the pain. Yeah, Hecate's a powerful spirit. It's a necromancy spirit, and a lot of the kids don't know how to control it. Going to Incubus concert and summoning spirits, any sort of like invitation, I'll call it. Invitation is what it's called, and it's really serious. Like, a lot of kids don't know what they're doing, and actually the kid could die if they don't know what they're really doing. And we're heading into Halloween now, and a lot of them dress up as witches. There's no one trick-or-treating anymore. It used to be that way back when I was young, but not anymore. We don't get trick-or-treaters anymore because it's the crime rate is so bad now. I have not seen that in so long, but here we go again.